it's Liz Yuille from Old Staples Crafts. Thank you very much for joining me again today. If you are visiting for the first time, welcome. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator based in the UK. If you are joining me for a second, third or 103rd time, welcome back. Do remember that in no time at all you can just hit subscribe down in the bottom right hand corner, and that would be an amazing thing for you to do. Today I am going to show you this card, or rather I'm going to show you an adaptation of this card. It uses the wonderfully new lovely Yuille stamp set, which is coming in the new annual catalogue, which goes live a week today. Yay! And a week today at 1 o'clock in the afternoon UK time, I will be going live on my Facebook business page to do a run through of the new annual catalogue and pick out my favourite items, some hidden gems, and just generally spend some time stroking the pages. But in the meantime, business as usual. So lovely Yuille stamp set. As I say, this isn't available yet unless you wanted to add it to a starter kit. I made this card using Soft Sea Foam, So Saffron and Petal Pink, and I put it on a smoky slate mat with smoky slate for the sentiment, and then I used some champagne, I think, yes, champagne foil for the edging, and I just wanted to have a go at doing it in some brighter colours and also going through one of the new products that I can show you, but I just want you to be aware of where it sits. That will become evident in a moment. So I'm going to actually use bright colours. So I'm going to use Granny Apple Green, Melon Mambo and Daffodil Delight, although I'm actually thinking I might change that out for Mango Melody. Let me do that. I don't know why I want to do that, but I want to do that. Probably because it zings a bit more, and it's kind of a nearer colour to the So Saffron, I don't know, anyway. And I'm going to use Gorgeous Grape as the other colour. So it's going to be bright, but you know, let's just show that we can do bright things using the same stamp set and getting a whole different effect. Now, what I want to show you is, as I say, this is champagne foil. I was going to use gold foil. This is our gold foil. Sorry, I'm going to be blinding you. And then I thought, hang on, what about using our new brass? And I've been asked what the difference is between brass and gold. And I'm going to ask you to put your sunglasses on. Here we go. I'm going to try and cover some of it up so it's not too bright. But that is the difference. It's very much more mirror. So it's not a dissimilar tone. It's a bit warmer, but it's very, very much brighter in its reflections. So rather than this, which is more of a satin finish, this is definitely a mirror finish. You can see my lighting, you know, it's a real mirror finish. I'm going to put that to one side for a moment. And I've just had a thought. Let me show you the copper foil, because this again, this is different again. So this is the gold, it's a satin, it's a different satin, and then if I bring in the brass, you can see that it's definitely different. This is definitely more of a mirror, but it's got that slight warmth that the copper has got, or it's got a bit of that. So it is very different to what we already have. So, sorry, it's another foil you're going to need. Now I am going to need to cut some strips of that. I'm very sorry, because it is going to be very bright. But I know what I can do. I can do them upside down. It's fine. We'll do them upside down. Oh, and I've just had a thought. Ooh, I love it when I have little thoughts about things. Anyway, let's start by doing the stamping. I've got my mat ready to go. As ever, the dimensions will be over on my website. I'm going to see Gosh, that was dirty. But I am going to just use it. I just need some grid. But I don't want to spoil my current grid paper because I get sad when I do that. So I'm going to grab some washi tape, which I've got hanging up here. I thought I had one roll out, but I'm blowed if I can find it. So this is just a retired washi tape. And I'm just going to take a length and attach it to my t-shirt just to take some of the stick off. Because we don't want it too sticky, we just want it to be there as a guide. So let me line that up, and I just want it kind of, not quite a third of the way up, but there or thereabouts. And I just want to, oops, that's not, let's go across there. I just want, yeah, a straight line. And it also means that I'll know that I don't want to come over too far. So yes, I know what I'm talking about. I hope you do. So I want that stamp, just as a filler, that stamp, that's a great filler, that one, and that one, and needless to say I'm going to need to swatch blocks as we go. Now what I did find is that working big to small is a really good idea. So I'm going to start with one of the leaves and just add, now this actually I could use the ink pad for rather than the markers, because this I just want in Granny Apple Green. So I'm just going to turn it on its side a bit. In fact, I might go that way and just stamp. Now I like stamps going off the page. I think it looks more mint. I think when things stop at the edge, it just, I don't know, it just does something for me, or rather doesn't. So I'm just going to build up a bit of colour, and I don't really want to go too far over that line. Doesn't matter if I go over a little, because I am going to cover up quite a bit of that. This really is just a guide, just in case. In fact, actually I'm going to clean that off and just ink up those two leaves. Then I know I'm not going over the line, and let's go that way a bit. Good. Okay, so that's given me a basis for there, and then what I also want to add in are some other larger elements. Now I'm going to do the shorter version first. I want less of the colour below the line than above. And again, that's fine because it's going to have a wider strip. And then I want a little gap before I come in with this. There we go. Clean that off and pop that over there. And then the largest of the leaves, which I should probably have started with actually, but who cares? Okay. So let's ink up all of that, and I'm actually going to see if I can get it to kind of tuck in behind what we've already got. So I am leaning down, and that's brilliant. That's kind of what I wanted. So that's that built up, and I've kind of got it behind. It will dry down a bit. So that's that. We can now start getting more exciting with a bit of colour. So we don't need that. And this is where it is easier if you use your marker pens. But you can do it, and indeed that's what I did do, with your ink pads. You just have to be slightly careful about not mixing your colours. So I'm going to start with this and Mango Melody. Now the only thing you have to remember when you're using your markers is that the ink does dry a little bit quicker. So you do need to huff onto your stamp before you stamp it, and it will not be quite as clean a stamp or an image. It won't be bad, it just won't be quite as clean. So huff and see, I want that to come. Oh, I can have that going up there actually. No, that's fine. That may be a bit low actually, but that's fine because we can do it again. We can do a second one that's higher. Now what I should have done is use my Mango Melody first, purely because Mango Melody is a slightly paler colour, and I don't want to, oops, I don't really want Granny Apple Green on my Mango Melody Stamping Right marker. So tomorrow I will have my Facebook replay. I was trying out a new setup. It worked really well, apart from the fact it was a bit juddery. It pixelated rather a lot, and I'm trying to work out how I can sort that out. So do bear with me. It will be on my YouTube channel tomorrow. It's kind of okay. I just wouldn't watch it on a very large screen because it might be a bit not great. Right, okay, let's now do some Melon Mambo. And I'm thinking that that's part of the flower, but you could have it as part of the stem if you would rather. And you'll notice I'm using the side of the brush rather than going in point first, otherwise you could damage the point of your marker pen. So always go in with the side of your marker. So use it flat. And huff again, and then that can come in just there. It's going to be quite bright. It's not too bad. When we get Magenta Madness, trust me, it's going to be bright. And we have heard that certainly for Europe, the ink pads and the refills and markers and all that good stuff should be available for when we go live with the new catalogue, which is always a plan. Now I'm going to ink up just the flower because I want to come in with some more Mango Melody here, Melon Mambo rather here, but I don't want to come down too far. So yes, we should have all of that ready to go, fingers crossed, and a fair wind, for catalogue launch. Yay! I cannot wait to be able to order everything. I felt very lucky that I was able to order anything, but I definitely want to be able to order everything. Right, okay, so we'll do a... oh, we need some Mango Melody down here, don't we? Really? Okay, I'm going to... whoops. I'm going to... yep. Sneak in a Mango Melody single flower just by inking up the larger of the two flowers. Huff, and then be brave, because I'm going to stamp over something that's already there. But I've avoided it. Yes! Hurrah! Okay, so clean that again. I do, when I'm using marker pens and two-tone, I do like to make sure I clean everything. And I think I'm going to do the same again, but this time with the small flower and Melon Mambo. And huff again, and then I can just come in just there. Fingers crossed. Yes! Don't you love it when things go the way you want them to? And I didn't even need to use that one. That was going to be my emergency filler inner. Now, to peel off washi tape, I de-stuck most of it, but go flat. If you go up, you're more likely to rip your card. It doesn't actually matter with this because I'm covering that space up anyway, but just in case. So there we are, we've got our brighter version, and it's almost exactly the same, just not quite. So next I want to do my strip for the sentiment, and I'm not sure that's going to be quite, well, no, actually, no, I think it'll be fine. We can get rid of that now because we don't need it. So I want just because. So I'm literally doing a remake, yep, that will fit, a remake of the same card but in a different colourway, because I like to be able to show that just by changing up the colour, so I'm just trying to clean the ink off that stamp so I can use the block. Just by changing the colour you can change the whole feel. Now that was a bit too far to the right for my liking, so it does mean I've now got the opportunity to bring it this way. And we are going to use Gorgeous Grape as promised. Oh yes, sorry, I've just realised something. And so I want it kind of there-ish. Hopefully this is straight. Yes! Part of the key to that is to put your sticker on straight. Now, next Tuesday, I am doing, for my Tip Top Tuesday, how to put your stickers on. So, just so you know. Right, I'm going to take this is my brass, and I'm going to take a piece, oh, come on, of our tear and tape, and I'm just going to run it along the edge of my brass foil, and then hopefully that will fit into my guillotine. It will, good, because what I want to do is cut that basically in half. That looks about half. Fingers crossed with a fair wind. And then we've got a sticker of the brass foil. There we go. And I didn't even have to blind you. So we now have 2 brass foil stickers. And we can start putting our card together. So let me bring in my Gorgeous Grape mat and grab my multi-purpose liquid adhesive, or green glue for short. And pop that down. And just straighten that up. It's one of the joys of the liquid adhesive is if you go slightly crooked, you have a little bit of wiggle room. And I needed it today. Oh, actually. Right, so I'm going to pop some... should I pop it on? I want to come there, really, don't I? Because I need to get that B in. Right, I couldn't decide whether to put the adhesive on my... Yes, I will. Put the adhesive on the sentiment strip or the card. And I think I'll go sentiment strip and just bear in mind that I've got a little bit of an overhang. All I'm doing with this now is just spreading it out a little. And then with your card straight, you can just add your sentiment strip so it is also straight. And again, because we're using liquid adhesive, we have a bit of wiggle room. Right, Okay, so we now have our brass stickers, and if you saw the video I did about how to make 144 cards from one pack of 6x6 designer series paper, I'm going to basically do the same thing again. So I'm going to peel off the backing strip and just nuzzle that into that channel next to the card strip. There we go. And just snip that a bit long. I will keep those because you just never know when that's going to come in handy. And then same again. Peel the backing, and it is worth just making sure that it's properly adhered in the first place. It's slightly less of a problem with the tear and tape than it is with the sheets, because the adhesive is actually a sheet of a strip of adhesive rather than a kind of smush of adhesive. Smush, you understand, is a technical term, but on the adhesive, the double-sided adhesive paper, there is a risk that the adhesive actually lifts off if you don't press it down properly, so always worth pressing it down properly. So there is our strip. Now let me just bring in my rubbish, because what I want to do is just trim that off from the back, and let's get rid of those two bits. One day I'll find my sticky scissors. I have no idea where they've gone. I can only suppose that I took them over to the house and they got abandoned over there, but I can't find them over there. So who knows? Who knows the secret of the sticky scissors? But I have looked everywhere. I even tidied my desk up, which is saying something. Right, so that is our basic card. Then I'm going to grab just a thick Whisper White card base, which I have a whole load of card bases ready to go. Just speeds things up. I have a session every now and again just to prep mats and card bases. What I love for mats, so the smaller size, is getting the multi-packs. So let's pop one at top and bottom as well, one in the middle. I'm careful that this is going to go through the post. I wouldn't normally use quite that number of dimensionals, but for some reason I have. So yes, if you get the multi-packs, I have an industrial size guillotine as well as my paper trimmer. It means that I can cut a whole load of mats in one go. I mean, obviously I could just pull a couple of sheets of each of the colours out of the individual cardstock packs, but I just love it. I love just chopping a whole pack up. Let me just get that so that it's square right to left, and preferably up and down as well. Left a bit, right a bit, fire. Does anyone else remember Bernie the Bolt? And there we have it. Totally different look just by changing the colours of what we're using. Now, what it does need, and they are still available at the point when I am recording this, glitter dots. I used pearls on the original version, but I thought I would use glitter dots, and I'm going to, oh, I know what I can do. I apologise, well I don't actually, because this is going to be incredibly bright. So I'm going to go, I've got all of the colours, well apart from the Mango Melody, but I've got all of the other colours. Dot, dot, dot. Now, let's see, which one shall I put? I won't put the clusters, or the cluster, I might go Melon Mambo down here, and then let's go a small, oops, that moved, a small, gorgeous, oh, for crying out loud, that's better. I wanted it in the white space, not over the, so there we are, very bright or very soft, same card, same design, just a completely different feel, and a whole 25 minutes, good grief. Thank you very much indeed for watching. If you've enjoyed that, please give it a thumbs up. As I say, if you would like to subscribe, I would be so thrilled. I am aiming for 9,000 subscribers, and as I've said at some other point, is it this week or is it for a video next week, the numbers are going down. I'm obviously doing something to offend. If I am, please tell me and I'll try and sort it out. Anyway, thank you very much. As I say, if you've enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. If you want any of the products, they are listed below. And there's also the link to the website post for this below, and it will take you straight to this blog post. So there'll be close-up photos and a bit more information there, as well as the dimensions. Dimensions are always at the bottom of the blog post. So if you ever need to find them, that's where they will be. Thank you very much indeed for watching. Have a super day, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon.